Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you about a wonderful juice that can help with heart health, veins, and blood pressure. It can also help you with sports performance. You're going to love it. I'll tell you what juice this is and how to make it. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you if you really try to drink healthy juices in your daily life. Many people think they can't drink juice, that it's bad for us, but depending on the type of juice, it can bring beneficial effects to our health. Tell me, what's the juice you drink the most in your daily life? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that helps me a lot, and share it with someone you know will enjoy it. Let's expand our chain of kindness. This wonderful juice is beet juice. Beets are a fascinating vegetable for cardiovascular health because they're one of the best known dietary sources of inorganic nitrate. Our bodies can then convert this nitrate into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a key molecule for the health of blood vessels, for vascular health, and for heart health because it helps the vessels relax and have a better response in terms of dilation. With this, it can really help our heart. This is especially important for two reasons. First, because a large part of everyday hypertension is related to vascular stiffness and endothelial dysfunction, which is the lining of the blood vessel. So when this inner layer of the blood vessel doesn't work as well, when it can't dilate or relax, we experience an increase in blood pressure. Second, because many people go through daily life with more restricted circulation. They get little physical activity, spend a lot of time sitting, have poorer sleep, and experience more low-grade chronic inflammation. And in this scenario, any dietary intervention we make that improves blood vessel function and is consistent, something we take every day or with a good degree of regularity, can add up. Regarding beet juice, what studies have consistently found, and what is most well established in the research, is precisely its role in improving blood pressure levels. Beets can indeed help manage blood pressure as a supplementary tool for those with hypertension or reduced vascular function. Usually, it can lower your reading by a few millimeters of mercury. And precisely when you make this a habit along with a healthy lifestyle, it can be combined with other benefits and have an interesting impact on our health. It's just worth emphasizing that you shouldn't think that drinking beet juice will give you a free pass to eat a lot of salt, processed foods, drink a lot of alcohol, or smoke. That's not how it works. As I always tell you, these dietary and culinary aspects are complementary and when done consistently, help our health. Another benefit that is being increasingly studied is in circulation and athletic performance. That's because these dietary nitrates can improve the efficiency of blood circulation. They improve blood perfusion. With this, more oxygen and more nutrients reach the target tissues, especially the muscles, which allows you to be more efficient in your sports practice. This ends up being very interesting, which is why more and more people are drinking beet juice before their workouts. So many people think, for my pre-workout, what can I do to improve perfusion, to boost my energy? Beet juice. It's economical, tasty, natural, and can be a great option. Always remember that anything we consume before training needs to be absorbed and enter the bloodstream to be available to do its job. So there's no point in making beet juice and drinking it right at the gym door or 10 minutes before your workout. Ideally, you should leave some time between your pre-workout meal and your workout so that the nutrients you've consumed are actually absorbed. An hour and a half to 2 hours is usually a good window. So many people want to eat beets, but are scared they'll spike their blood sugar. Some people say, if you want to control glucose spikes, you absolutely have to avoid beets. They have too many carbs. That's not exactly true. Of course, beets are naturally sweeter and can have more carbs than other vegetables. But it also has a lot of fiber. And remember, if you want, you can add a bit of chia or some psyllium to your beet juice to lower its glycemic index. Always keep in mind that these vegetables people sometimes try to scare us about, saying they have too many carbs, actually have much less than a product like a cereal bar that some people eat before going to the gym. That's what I wanted to share with you. When you're talking about real foods in the right portions, like about 2/3 of a cup of beets for a large glass of water to make juice, that's not going to spike your blood sugar. If you use that 2/3 of a cup of beets I mentioned as a base, your juice will have fewer than 7 grams of carbs, since the rest is just water. Compare that to a high-carb drink like orange juice, which depending on the glass size, can pack as many as 40 grams of carbohydrates. So you can see it's not actually that high in carbs. And if you also compare it to a slice of bread, which people sometimes eat with cheese or something before going to the gym, you can have 12-15 grams. So it's actually better for you to make beet juice, which is healthier. And also, if you want to add more fiber to slow down absorption, even better. If you're new to eating beets, don't be alarmed if you notice a change in the color of your urine or stool. Depending on how much you have, it can turn a reddish or pinkish hue. It's totally normal, but it can definitely be a surprise the first time. So that's something you should pay attention to. Because it's highly pigmented, especially in your stool, it can have a different reddish color, so don't be alarmed. There are some people who need to be a little cautious when it comes to beet juice. These are people who have a history of kidney stones caused by oxalate because beets contain oxalates and may require moderation, but this is only for those who already have a history. So there's nothing for you to worry about either if you don't have any kind of problem in that regard. One detail I want to mention here is that beet juice is already naturally sweet. It has a sweeter taste, but I know there are people who have the habit of sweetening things without even tasting them. So be careful not to fall into that trap. If it's absolutely essential for you to sweeten the juice, use a non-caloric sweetener like stevia, for example, or another one of your choice. Remember that if you add more sugar to beet juice, then yes, the amount of carbs becomes very high. It can increase the risk of a blood sugar spike. It can even increase the risk of you experiencing a sudden drop in glucose afterwards due to hyperinsulinemia. It increases inflammation, and that's not what we want. I'm talking about natural juice here, just beets and water. And don't strain it. You want to keep all that fiber intact. Let me know down below in the comments if you have the habit of drinking detox juices or vegetable juices, whether you're looking for a specific benefit or not. In fact, I have a playlist of healthy juices and smoothies. I'll leave it down below in the description. If you haven't liked it yet, take a moment to like the video now. It really helps me out, and share it with anyone you think could benefit from this information. Let's work together to spread this chain of kindness. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.